Welcome to this week's Techie Tip. In this session, we're going to focus on building our web page or adding elements to our web page. So let's get started by signing in and opening up our home page. When you open this up, as soon as you hover your mouse over the home page green pencil or the edit button, it will open up, and what you have before you is your typical web space. For those of us who have been using Windows-based applications, it's a lot like a Word document. You have your formatting tools above the top. You have your actual workspace where you'd write the document below that. And that's pretty much it. Well, creating a web page has a lot of similar features. As you take a look at some of these tools, you'll notice that when you hover your mouse over them, like any Windows-based application, it'll tell you what that tool is. So we pretty much have a good idea of the bold and italic and the cut, copy, and paste commands and aligning commands because we've used those before. So in this lesson, we're actually going to focus in on some specific tools that I think you'll find very helpful. The first tool is the Clear Formatting. This button right here allows you to clear the formatting from other files that you might copy and paste into the Community Web SchoolWires design. So what do I mean by that? Well, one of the nice things about working in a template environment where the vendor has made this process really easy is that you can copy and paste Word documents, Google documents, whatever other text that you have from other files right into the web page. So in this example, I've got this sample text from a Word document that I'm just going to copy and paste into my web page. So we'll give that a moment to come up. The clear formatting command is really important because if you don't clear the format and you go to view your page, sometimes you'll have something that looks a little bit funny. The spacing's a little too wide between the text, or the text looks funny, it looks large in one spot and small in another. So I always recommend that you select the text that you want or that you've copied into your document, select the Clear Formatting tool, and get rid of everything because Microsoft Word's HTML is different from Community Web SchoolWires HTML and HTML in general. So getting rid of all that excess stuff is really kind of important. Once you do that, what you have left is basic text. It's at this point where you could begin to make some differences and changes by using some typical tools. So we could even change the color if we wanted to. So let's add a little color to this. And let's actually change the text to make this a little bit larger. So we're going to go to our little styles button here. We're going to choose normal so that text is a little bit larger. So as you go to explore some of the basic features, you'll see that these commands are pretty much the same commands you would find in any Windows-based program. Another really cool tool that I want to focus on is the insert link. So before we actually insert a link, let's just position our cursor in the appropriate spot. Let's go back here, click this button, and now we can insert a bunch of different types of links depending upon what it is that we want to have on our page. We could link another page in our website by simply selecting this and then choosing the appropriate page from the list. We could add our email address. In that case, you'd pretty much fill out the form. And of course, put your name in there. And when we click insert, that link will appear. You can also add a different type of link. If you wanted to add a URL, you would simply click the insert link and choose a web address. And you could type the address in or do something that most of us do. Just go to the website and go back and copy and paste that back into your design. And then, of course, enter the name. And you could have it open in the same window or open in a new window. I have a preference to have it open in a new window because then I can manage and control my tabs a little more efficiently. So if I insert that link, I now have this URL in my page. So let's save and take a quick look at how that works by going to our preview. So we can see here it is. This, if I click on this, it'll open up a an email page. But if I click this, it'll take me right to my home page. So it's pretty easy to add links into your design. So let's close this and return to our little pencil to edit this and add a few other things. So the next option that we have here is to insert a picture. Inserting a picture is pretty simple as well. You'd simply click on the Insert Image menu, and here you have a bunch of options as well. You can upload an image from your computer, which is what we're going to do. You can locate that image from your cloud storage, say Google Drive or Dropbox or whichever format that you use. You can add an existing image if you had currently uploaded other files. If there was a shared folder of images, you'd have something available to choose from this. And of course, you could select something from ClipArt. So let's just take something to look at in ClipArt, and they have a lot of cool things in here. So you could take a look at academic. Let's do something academic, and let's type in books and click on the search button. So if you wanted to see something that was academic and related to books, we have these images here. So if you were to select that by clicking on it, you could actually get a larger view of that image or images by moving this slider up and down to make the image a little bit larger. So if we were to select that and click the continue button, that would pop in. Let's just do that just for the sake of this example. And for the sake of this example, we'll also add some borders here. So let's just do, we'll make this really crazy and put some very big borders and padding around our image. We'll just make it default. And if we wanted to add alt text, which is helpful if you have, for those viewers who might have some visual or audio disabilities and they're using maybe a text reader or something else, it helps to have this in here. And then we click Insert Image. So as you can see, I have this nice little border around our clip art. But I did kind of add an extra element there because what I really wanted to do is insert an image from my computer. So if I were to select the Browse button and select a picture of this nice picture of this classroom and click Continue, I could add my alt text. And I'm not going to put a border around it this time so that you can see the difference. And I'm just going to keep the default alignment and click the Insert Image. So just a quick look here, you'll notice that we have this nice border around that image and there's no border around this image. So depending upon what it is that you're doing to create your design really determines whether you put that border or not. So let's position the cursor a couple of lines below that last picture and take a look at our next featured icon here. And this is the Insert File. There are a lot of different ways to insert a file, but this is pretty simple. When I select that command, I have some similar options. I can upload a file from my computer, from the cloud, using copying from my Google Drive and so forth. Just keep in mind, if you pull something up from your Google Drive or these other types of folders, you do want to make sure that that file is shared publicly so that everyone or anyone can view it if your website is publicly displayed. If you're password protecting that file or that information, then you have different options. But keep in mind your website is a public item that many people or anybody who has access to the website or to the internet can see. An existing file, so that if I had some other files and folders in here, it would already show up for me. Anything that I upload on my website begins to actually find itself in my system folders. And once again, if I had a shared folder from other locations that I could access that information, that is available. And of course, you can copy that to your file. So if there's a file on the website that you want to use as well, first make sure it's okay to use. Double check with the person who posted it or the person who manages that part of the web page. But if it's okay, then certainly use the shared file. So let's go back to our upload. Click Browse. I'm going to choose a PDF file. I like to use PDF formats because that way I know everybody can view that file. If I have a PowerPoint file that I upload into my web page and that viewer doesn't have PowerPoint, they're not going to be able to look at the file. So the PDF is a nice way to convert your document so that everybody can view it because you can get the Adobe Reader free from their website. So let's click our Continue button and add some text here. And like other things that we can do, I like to open up in a new window, and I'm going to insert the file. So there it is. There's our RUP. So that's how easy it is to insert a file if you're simply just adding files to the document. It could be a syllabus. It could be a map that you have students work off. It could be a project list. Could be a lot of different things that you might be posting to your website. A worksheet. Lots of different things that you could have up there. So the next item that we're going to take a look at is this source code. And the source code is really pretty cool, is because this is where I can embed something from another website. So if I had a YouTube video that I wanted the kids to see on my page, this is how I'd put it in. If I click on that source code, the important thing to remember is that it's going to bring you to the HTML code that's currently on this page. So here you see all of the code that's been entered based on the items that I've inserted into this file already. The first thing that I want to do is make sure I put some space between the end of my last item, which is the RUP, and the beginning of my next item. If I forget to do that, then when I insert my embedded code from a YouTube video, it'll wipe everything out, and you'll just have to redo that page. It's always a lesson learned. So we'll keep that positioned right there, and I've already picked out a video from YouTube, and when you get there, I'm going to click on the share button, and when I click on the share button, there's this little item down here called embed. So I'm going to select that embed, and I'm going to select that, and they kind of give me all these commands to click. I'm going to simply choose copy that embed code, and it's copied to my clipboard. I'm going to return to my web page, and I'm going to simply paste that embed code right into my web page and click the OK button, and you'll see there it is. There's my YouTube video that I have now inserted into my web page. I can now add text or other information regarding this video. So there's lots of information there. I'll just select that and format this, make it a little bit bigger, and that way it's a little bit more readable. So there's a lot more to show you about using or adding elements to your web page. But if you were to just simply type and add information in there without using any of the other features of this Community Web SchoolWires environment, that's how easy it is to create your page. So I'm going to click the Save button. I'm going to close that, and let's take a quick peek at what I've created here. So here's my text. Here's the email address that I have added there. Of course, if I were really designing this page, I'd make sure I would add the text email me at. Here's our URL, and I would certainly add more text or information if I had URL lists. Here is the first of two pictures that I entered. Here's the file that I inserted. When I select that, notice it opens up and pops up into another window, so we'll close that. And here is the embedded video that if I were to begin playing, it would start playing. So that's a pretty simple way to actually build a web page. You can be very basic and very simple in the process. In our next techie tip, we're actually going to spend some time looking at some of these cool apps that are provided to us with the Community Web SchoolWires environment. So until then, have a great week, and we'll see you for our next lesson. Alrighty, bye-bye.